Hello students, I am Madhukar Sopin, Assistant Professor in Chemistry, Vijayanagara College, Hospet, belongs to VSK University, Ballari. I will take this part 3 from this liquid state chapter for this paper 2 is concerned for the students BSc second sem. In the previous class, we have discussed about the two types of interactions. Now we have to study the third one, it is called dipole-induced dipole interactions. What are these dipole-induced dipole interactions? We have to see. Definition is electrostatic interactions between the permanent dipole of the polar molecule and the induced dipole of the non-polar molecule are called dipole-induced dipole interactions. See that permanent dipole, one molecule, another one is non-polar molecule. Example, interactions between polar H2O molecule and non-polar pentane C5H12 molecule. So initially the molecules are far apart. Water is polar in nature because of this small delta plus, small positive charge delta plus and small negative charge delta minus, and this shows the arrow mark shows the dipole moment of this. This arrow mark is always towards the more electron density. So this is permanent dipole, that is polar water molecule. This is figure A. This is non-polar pentane molecule. It is not having any dipoles. But if the molecules are very close to each other, then this molecule, pentane molecule, induced by this water molecule by the formation of delta plus because of this delta minus for the permanent dipole of water molecule. Another side is delta minus. So this is in the figure B. This is explained in the form of the sentence here. This type of attraction occurs because the charge of the water molecule distorts. The electron cloud of pentanes compound atoms, causing them to be either attracted to the positive dipole or repelled by the negative dipole. So this is induced by the water, so it is called induced dipole in non-polar pentane molecule. So these interactions are very weak. Such type of interactions are very weak, but explain the solubility of non-polar compounds in polar solids, such as O2 dissolved in water. Oxygen is soluble in water because of this reason. Because oxygen is non-polar molecule, water is polar molecule. When they are very close to each other, then immediately this oxygen is forming the positive and negative dipole. It is induced by the water, so it is called induced dipole in case of non-polar O2. So this because of this oxygen dissolves in water. The last type of interactions, fourth one, induced dipole interactions are London forces because of the scientist in London, or dispersion forces. London forces are the force of attraction between two temporary dipoles. These two are initially temporary dipoles. One atom or molecule is induced by the other. So this is the case 1. In this case 1, atom A and atom B, they are far apart. Then there is a symmetrical distribution of electronic charge cloud in the atom A and in the atom B. But when the atom A and atom B are very close to each other, we have two types of cases, case 2 and case 3. In this case 2, atom A with instantaneous dipole, here the more electron density in the right side. This is right side, there is a more electron density. And this induces the atom B, so immediately atom B also forms the dipole, so atom B with the induced dipole. Case 3 is atom A with more electron density on left side, here this is left side. Because of this is forming the more electron density. Atom B is induced by the atom A, so atom A with more electron density on left side here and atom B with induced dipole. So there are two cases here. Examples, non-polar molecules like hydrogen H2, oxygen O2, nitrogen N2, chlorine Cl2, etc. And noble gases like helium, neon, etc. London or dispersion forces occurs between all molecules, but are most evident in non-polar molecules because they are the only attractions holding the molecules together. These forces are responsible for the condensation of gases, including noble gases. That means the gases like noble gases condense to form the liquids. So these interactions play an important role in the study of viscosity, surface tension, and vapor pressure of liquids. Now we study the subtopic liquid crystals. Before studying these liquid crystals, first we have to study some terms related to this. The first one is mesomorphic state. What is this state? Intermediate state between solid state and liquid state is called mesomorphic state. Certain solids, when heated, undergo two sharp phase transformations, one after the other. These solids first fuse sharply, yields turbid liquids, just like precipitates, and at higher temperatures sharply changes into clear liquid. These changes are exactly reversed on cooling at the same temperature. That means if liquids are formed, if they are cooled, they are converted to turbid liquids. If the turbid liquids are again cooled, they are converted into the solids at the same temperatures. The turbid or translucent liquids, however, show anisotropy. Anisotropy means have different physical properties in different directions. The anisotropy is observed particularly in their optical behavior. Thus, they exhibit double refraction and give interference patterns in polarized light. That is, in polarized light, they will give double refractions and also they will give interference patterns. But true liquids, as we know that they are isotropic in nature, that is, they have same properties in all directions. The isotropic property like double refraction is associated with crystalline state. The turbid liquids are called so that they are called liquid crystals. So we can define these liquid crystals clearly by this explanation. Definition of liquid crystals. In the examination, they will ask this question for 1 mark. A thermodynamically stable phase characterized by anisotropy of properties without the existence of a three-dimensional 3D crystal lattice, generally lying in the temperature range between the solid and isotropic liquid phase, are called liquid crystals. I think you followed this one. Thank you.